To go along with our watching of The Simpsons, which is, this massive, big, huge commercial
it's like a big
TV show. Yes, it's like the biggest show of all time. I thought we would go back to watch what's my favourite show, considered to be one of the best shows of all time, but it's also fairly underrated. Not a lot of people have seen Deadwood, even though it's considered to be one of the big three, which is The Wire, HBO, The Wire, Sopranos, and Deadwood. They form like a trilogy, and they were seen as like big masterpieces at the time. So I thought we'd go back, watch them. It's my favourite show, just to see what happens. So we watched the first episode.
It's my first time watching it.
You've never seen Deadwood before, or any television.
Oh. I'm not as well versed in TV. I'm more into...
It was a joke.
Yes, well, I'm more into my film and my video game. So yeah, no, the TV is something that when I get into a TV show, I generally get addicted to it, but it's quite rare. It takes a lot for me to get into a show.
Okay, so that's where we're coming from. I've seen it. This will be my fourth go watching it, and this will be your first. What did you think of Deadwood, the David Milch Western epic classic TV show?
Well, you mean the first episode?
The first episode is called Deadwood, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
it was good.
It's a great.
I liked it.
Pilot.
Yeah, it was good.
Deadwood.
Deadwood. Yes. No, it was good. I liked it.
Yes.
I want to see more.
Yes. It's very dense.
Yes, it's very dense. Yeah. There's a lot to take in.
There is a lot to take in.
And the way they talk.
Yes.
Is like you kind of got to get used to it a little bit.
Yes. It's very full of anachronisms.
Yeah.
It's very fast as well, the way they talk. I was shocked watching it back. Yes. Yes, there's a lot of accents going on in this.
Loads of accents.
Yes, it's not one of those, like, a lot of westerns before this, and like a lot of film westerns now talk like this, but they used to just talk in normal accents.
Like John Wayne westerns.
Yes, John Wayne, where you could hear everything they said, even though back then the accents were vastly different.
Yeah.
So this episode, yes, I said, there's so much to take in. So the first scene, which is sort of like a prologue, sets everything, like the premise of the show up. There's an outlaw town called Deadwood, which has no laws because it's built on Indian territory. So there's no laws to speak of. Everyone basically can do whatever they want there. And then that's the first scene. It's Seth Bullock, who's the main protagonist. He's the sheriff of Montana. And it's the first scene is I think the only scene in the whole show not to be set in Deadwood. He's got a criminal. The first scene is pretty much just exposition, which I realised. Watching this again, it's pretty subtle in a way, just to do it in a pretty clever way. But yeah, it's all just exposition, setting up what the show is going to be. So he's got this prison there. It's also like the show in a microcosm because he's this lawman, and he's got a prisoner. The people come to take the prisoner away, and they're going to kill him and torture him. What he's going to do. But Seth Bullock, being this upstanding, honourable sheriff, hangs him from the rafters of the sheriff's office. Does that noise is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
He pulls the thing and it goes, and it breaks his neck. Yeah. So it's all about, even though he can't do it, he can't do the law in a sense because you can't take him to have like a trial. He's still committed to seeing the law done in his own way. It's almost like Game of Thrones, this in a way. It will more in future episodes than this one. But the way that it's all about honour for the main character. Like he sees himself as this honourable man. Like he won't let that the note to the guy's sister go. He has to see it done before he'll leave. But in this, it's presented as if he's sort of really just full of anger and stupid. There's not a lot of that in the pilot, but that's why it goes on further.
Yeah, he doesn't really come across as being quite heroic in this first episode. No, heroic or noble. Like his intentions might be, but like the way it's kind of shot and the way he acts it,
Well, he's a very flat character,
very flat,
isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
He's good in the show Timothy Oliphant, and is the name of the actor who plays him. He's most famous for that show Justified now, which you've never heard of. It's quite a big hit. Played Hitman.
Oh yeah,
Hitman.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know that dreadful video game adaptation?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the first scene. It sets up everything pretty well, and then we move straight into Deadwood. Where the main show is going to take place, and there's all these different plot lines and characters.
Quite a lot to
take in. Yes.
So you've got the guy that owns the bar.
Oh, the Al Swearingen.
Al Swearingen.
Yes.
Who was like he's almost like a gangster really. Like he extorts the town. He's got control of like the drinking and the prostitution and the whoring and
yes.
He's a really fun character.
He's great and all. Ian McShane's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
Do you know that this was seen as a comeback, his serious role? Do you know what his role was before this? He played Lovejoy, right, which was an 80s TV show. It's so stupid explaining the premise, right? It was about a rogue antiques dealer, right? He was like a bad boy antiques dealer who like had a heart of gold, and he'd sell his antiques and solve crimes.
Yeah.
It was the stupidest premise. Can you imagine watching that now?
No.
It was like a big 80s thing, but he was seen as a bit of a joke because he was known for that. But this show really got him, like, he won, I think he was nominated for Emmys for it and won, like,
really
just a shitload of acclaim.
There's a really great scene towards the end of the episode where they hear rumours that his family's been murdered by Indians, scalped by Indians, and they're all going to ride out and go check it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, no, that's going to take away from, people buying drinks and, buying halls and all that. And he's like, this is bad for business.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, he does this huge inspirational speech of like, well, not inspirational, but we'll ride out in the morning to go find him. Just keep on drinking.
Yeah.
And pussy is free for like half price for 15 minutes.
Yes.
And the way he like manipulates the crowd to stay and... that's a great scene.
It is a great scene.
One thing, can you explain to me, because like it was quite dense and there was quite a lot going on and there was quite a lot of plot lines we had to take and a lot of characters to get used to.
Yes.
But what I couldn't really follow was about that New York businessman. I understood that he wanted to buy like a claim to this gold, but what was the business with him and that Irishman?
Tim Driscoll.
Yeah, what
had happened was that Tim Driscoll was a drunk who owned this gold claim.
Okay.
But he was also working for Al Swearingen, the gem saloon owner.
Yeah.
And it is real complex. Basically, the New York businessman, who's called Mr. Garrett, was looking to buy the gold claim off of Tim Driscoll. So what Al Swearingen was doing was bleeding him for more money, which is that scene where he's like 12, 15, 18.
And then the guy from Blade Runner was like, was he trying to egg it on, was he? Or was he...
he was playing what he was doing was trying to get more he was pretending to be a rival bidder for the gold claim to make the gold claim look more better than it was.
And
so they were bidding up the gold claim,
keep on hiking up.
Yes, which is how they eventually got 20 grand off of him.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they killed Tim Driscoll at the end.
So why did they kill Tim Driscoll?
So he doesn't go to the Pinkertons.
Who are the Pinkertons?
The Pinkertons are essentially the police of the 1800s. They're like they work as a cross-country like police force. I was going to explain it to you, but I think Pinkertons are in that Red Dead Redemption, so I thought you'd understand what they were.
No, but I don't think they mentioned by name.
Right.
They're just like the guys that come pick up John Marston and all that.
Yes, Pinkertons are like a global... You know, like when you see wanted posters in films? Those are like Pinkerton things.
I didn't know.
So yeah, Pinkerton works all across America to bring criminals to justice and stuff, and that's like a hint that Al Swearingen is sort of done something bad to come to Deadwood.
Okay, so he's kind of like hiding and...
Yes.
So like, so they essentially kill this Tim Driscoll guy because they could be like, hey, you cheated me,
Yes. Yes, because I don't think they have any intention of giving him his cut of the money. Plus, it also saves them from giving him a third.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So it's setting up all these, because they're archetypes, the characters that are in this a lot. You've got like the Hollow Heart of Gold, who's that Trixie, the one who kills the guy at the beginning. You've got like the Haunted Doctor. Played by Brad Dourif.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's great in this. You've got again the Honourable Sheriff.
Yeah.
Who's in this is like an arsehole. There's an amazing bit coming up in the season where he's holding his sheriff badge and he's so angry he presses it into his fist and it starts pouring with blood.
Oh god.
It's an amazing scene later on, but yeah, that's like the kind of character he is. You've got like the Jewish businessman who's his partner, who's great. John Hawkes is the guy who plays him. You've got all these different characters coming in. You've also got the iconic gunslinger who's that Wild Bill Hickok who looked like a troubadour.
A musketeer.
A musketeer,
He looked like he stepped on the set of Man in the Iron Mask. He was fun.
He was fun, yes.
He was fun. I can't wait to see him like do some awesome stuff.
Hopefully
he does some awesome stuff.
Yes, things happen with him in the plotline, yes.
But I really enjoyed him. And I also enjoyed that What was it kind of like that female kind of companion?
Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane.
Yes.
Oh, was that her? Okay.
Yeah, she's the realistic, because Deadwood, if you didn't know, is a real place, and all the characters are were real people.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Al Swearingen is a famous, even though they're not famous, just essentially just people who founded this town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all real people.
I know of Calamity Jane.
Yes.
I know the Jane Fonda musical.